Hello and welcome to Soul Clinic with Chang. I'm Chang, obviously, by the way. mm, uh, Today I have no idea what to talk about, and I could have easily just gone a day without recording. And at this stage, I wouldn't feel any guilt about it or any self imposed pressure. But I thought it might be a fun experiment to see what comes out if there is going to be a message. And I have no idea how long this message is going to be. It may be pretty short. Um, but part of the reason why I don't have anything in particular to talk about is this morning I woke up and felt very, very peaceful. And it's something I think I need to get used to because I possibly for the very first time in this particular inclination in this life, I woke up and felt like there was nothing I had to do. And it's in the afternoon, I'm shooting this video, and I have done a lot of things, tasks for the day, but those were didn't feel like obligations or chores, although a lot of what I did was part of my daily routine I've been keeping for many years now. It is a wonderful feeling that you just could afford to exist without worrying about how to sustain yourself, worrying about the future, agonizing over the past. And I know that my greatest contribution going forward will be my frequency and vibration, not necessarily what I, the words that I speak verbally, and not even the message that you get from me. I mean, the verbal and intellectual part of the message, because my vibration and frequency is actually a form of communication, and it, without even knowing, will impact you on a much deeper level. And so, broadcasting this frequency of peace and relaxing and resting in the quiet assurance of everything is being taken care of. Not everything will be fine, everything will be taken care of. It is being done now. And if it doesn't feel like that, it could be either, yes, actually, there is something you need to be taking care of right now, or it's just it could be just a sign that your current level of awareness does not permit you knowing that everything is being taken care of. Why do I keep saying that? Meaning your awareness is limited, so you can't feel how there is an invisible hand, the divine, taking care of all of your necessities. And yesterday I talked about the unexpected financial loss that was caused by, at least in my interpretation, my own negative vibrations, a sense of apprehension, a sense of what if something goes wrong. I need to make sure everything goes right because there was a high perceived chance that something would go wrong. And turns out, no surprise, something did go wrong, but it was my own mistake or negligence. If I were to be the one to take care of my own life, the I sense being a human, if the human I, then there will be mistakes. There will be things slipping through the cracks. Because no human can be perfect. And we all make mistakes. And I don't mean at all we need to, there's anything wrong with humans making mistakes. But at the same time, I guess I'm talking about misplaced trust, where if we trust, if the ultimate trust, if we have to place that on our human ability to keep up with things, follow things through, or making sure things go smoothly, then of course we'll meet with human shortcomings, pitfalls, mistakes, random happenings, all of the unexpected, unpredictable seeming fickleness of life. But there are two famous quotes that just came to me, which I will, uh, the two quotes from different people, different famous people, I think. And I'm going to just put them together. The first one is God. Wait. Actually, the two don't go together. They go against each other anyways. The first one is God doesn't play dice by Einstein. But the other one was God's uh, die are always loaded by some poet, I think. Maybe they're actually talking about the same thing because you don't play dice when it's always loaded. That's not playing dice. It's rigging. It's rigging the game. So it's not really a game. God doesn't play a game of dice because it's always rigged. So I guess it actually makes sense in the end, although on the surface it may seem paradoxical. The always loaded part is, in my interpretation, is about how it always plays out for your highest good. And I used, I myself used to resist that because in so many cases, when someone said that, it felt like spiritual bypass and it felt like a very not compassionate thing to say. Try to gloss over the fact that there is real suffering and there is actual, sometimes physical, but mostly energetic and emotional consequences of something bad happening. And nowadays, I'm realizing the highest good is intimately related to awakening to one's own magnificence, greatness, true power, power to shape one's own reality through vibration. Vibration is not just thoughts. It's not just imaginings. It's not just visualization or manifestation. Vibes are vibes, feelings, emotions. If you can sustain yourself to a level of emotion, feelings, that matches the life that you want to lead. That is a true key of manifestation and reality creation. And that is why most people's visualization or manifestation efforts too often come short. The key is sustained vibration, okay? Just because one visualizes for 5 minutes a day and then goes on to live a day filled with frustration doesn't mean it will have any more attractive power. The 5 minutes will be able to overcome the remaining hours and minutes of frustration and negative. Uh, I was about to say thinking because that's what how most people think. It's not just negative thinking, it's negative feeling. Okay? And negative thinking gets a bad rep, in my opinion, because uh, they make it sound like one has choice over negative or positive thoughts. And you do, but it's not as easy or straightforward as many manifestation gurus or teachers or even influencers make out to be. Thoughts come from feelings. Thoughts bubble up, originate from feelings, in my opinion, at least. And therefore, until and unless you address the root of negative feelings that give rise to the negative thinking or thoughts, there's no way to actually uproot and get rid of the negative thinking, the negative thoughts. And that is why the many videos that I've been shooting up to this point in this channel have been geared towards addressing those negative feelings. But I stopped producing the clearing videos or the shamanic sessions um, because it didn't really feel right to do those things. Um, and I think the reason for that is I can't do your emotional work for you unless you are open and willing. I mean, even then, I can only help. I can only facilitate. But one needs to be courageous enough to face and be willing to actually process those feelings behind the negative thoughts, which may seem to cause all the negative happenings. I ended up talking for 16 minutes now, and mm, certainly I managed to bring together some coherent thoughts. Mm. But those weren't really I don't know. I didn't have the pre-planned or um, because of the baseline feeling of today for me of peace. Really, there's not much words for me to be speaking. I just want to bathe and what's the word? Relish in this peaceful state where I just feel like everything is being taken care of for me, even though the outward appearance, the 3D reality can use some catch up. It doesn't match fully with my dream life. Exactly. But it's okay because it doesn't faze me anymore, at least for today. I may start panicking and freaking out again tomorrow, who knows. But for me, my felt level, which is the key word, my felt level of trust in that despite appearances, everything is working out in my favor has gotten very deep and secure. That things not seeming like they're going as fast as I want them to go is weaker compared to my level of trust. So my trust is winning over my tendency to panic or the human tendency to judge by appearances. And the key that most people miss or don't know about, because to me, no one really talks about this, or at least uh, no one really understands the importance of this, what I'm about to say, as much as I do, which is this: the trust, the self-trust. This is the realization that came to me today. So maybe this was the punchline that was meant to be for today's video. The self-trust is a trust in your body. And I paused because I wanted to find just the right phrase, set of words to describe that, describe what I wanted to convey. And trust in the body can be interpreted in several different ways. Trusting in your body can be said you trust your body, you trust your own body. Okay, so the body as the object of the trust, but also the trust that lives in the body, the energy of trust, the feeling of trust that courses through in the body. And in order to access that level of trust that is alive in your body, it is quite an achievement if you can pull it off. Because there's no way I will be able to explain this in just one video. So I may need so many other videos to fully help you understand. Your body is a sacred vehicle in so many ways, and also a microcosm of your life. So the outward situations in your life is actually mirrored. It, you could say even it's the other way around, but anyways, the outward situations is mirrored in the state of your body, in your cells. There was a mic drop moment, by the way, and I could just um, get off the stage at this point. But it is exactly why we need to do right by our bodies. And there is no way for me to be able to just help you feel this unless your cells are as aligned and clear as mine. I didn't want to brag, but uh, after going through a life-threatening health challenge, I dedicated a lot of time. It was a full-time job, more than a full-time job for me, to uh, cleanse my body, uh, raise it back up from the ashes. And there's a reason why the I have the picture of a phoenix as my backdrop. And partially that is why I'm here shooting these videos only getting less than 100 views, uh, at least when I'm shooting this. Because I know, having tasted death and having come back, I know this is. I know I carry a message that's meant to be heard worldwide. There's a there are many near-death NDE, near-death experience survivors, who have become best-selling authors and whatnot. And as I shared in my earlier video, what I went through was a prolonged near-death experience over several years. Not several, but like a couple of years. And that helped me understand the basis of human suffering and how to go beyond it. I don't mean to sound grandiose or, I don't know, want to stroke my ego, but I have no control over how you think of me, how you take my words. But I went through that experience, and I just, how I feel about me having gone through that experience is true. And a big part of the basis of the human suffering that I just talked about is restoring the body trust, or restoring the trust in the body, which has a double entendre, as I explained earlier. There are many reasons why most of us don't have the level of trust in the body that is required to live on a level of peace. And mostly it's toxins and actual molecules in our body that represent, that carry the energy of ancestral trauma that's passed down over generations. And what I'm talking about now is not just esoteric, it's real. I'm talking about chemistry, actual molecules, because water carries memories and emotions. And we are 70% water. Our body is made up of 70% water. If you're interested in addressing that condition, you don't have to pay me. Just go check out Medical Medium. Okay? Medical Medium book series. If you haven't heard of it. Um, you don't need me to go do that. That's how I brought myself back from the touch of death over a couple of years. Anyways, I think today's video has been a little different, but uh, I enjoyed it nonetheless. I hope you did as well, and I'll see you in the next video.